Welcome guys, I'm going to be doing a new video. Well, it's not a new video. I'm really going to record the video that I did with the 11 most powerful humans ranked according to strength. I'm doing this, I hate re-recording. I'll be honest, I hate re-recording videos. I'm not a fan. But I just hate the audio on that video. It really angers me, it really frustrates me. And it's my own fault, but YouTube and everything, TikTok that I do, SoundCloud, everything that I do is quite new for me, at least. I'm not very knowledgeable on stuff on social media, I guess, and things like that, and things like YouTube, TikTok, and stuff, or sort of stuff like that, and I do it for myself, right? I do it for fun. But when I feel like it's not good, or I feel like it's just a trash video, you gotta re-record it. And I don't like re-recording videos. I'm probably not gonna ever re-record any other videos except for this one. It's just because I like giving input, and I love like animes. I love cartoons, and I'm a bit childish and childlike, I guess, in my own way. I am in my 20s, but I still like sort of stuff like this. So it's quite I don't know. I may be unique or different to some people, but whatever the thing is. And so I also have to like save up for, like, I want to do a reaction, but I have to save up for some stuff. I have to actually save up for having decent reactions, because I do want to show my face. Start to show my face. Not in these type of videos. These type of videos is not really. I'm just sitting here and giving my thoughts. There's nothing really to show. And I'm not gonna try to give the same input as I did previously. I haven't really looked up in the video that much. I don't really know what I said because everything is just very bad quality. But I rewatched the video and was like, nah, this is not good enough. Right, we're gonna start this list now. I think 11 we have is Mercenary Tile. I already talked about Mercenary Tile when we did this video. I'm not gonna really repeat myself, because I'm probably gonna keep that video still on, right? I'm still gonna keep that video. But I already did talk about Mercenary Tile. Like I said, he's great in martial arts, but then he turned into like a cyborg, and he was still powerful pre his cyber, before he became prowess pre-cyberification, which is not really a word, but which I'm still gonna add. But he's still famous for his assassination skills. He's very powerful, and he has defeated both Tien and Goku. Goku wasn't as strong, but that's what about Dragon Ball. It's very, very authentic in my opinion. I feel like the fights are very Karate Kid like. They're more about martial arts, and not so much about ki, not so much about power levels, not so much about who can turn Super Saiyan, who can be a Super Saiyan God or whatever. I feel like it's more I just like the fights more, right? Because it's more unpredictable, and a lot of more fighters that don't get recognition super, like Tien and Krillin, are still recognized in the first Dragon Ball, and even you could say in Dragon Ball Z, they still get that recognition in one way or another, even though power levels do become in their millions and billions, probably, I think, by the end of the Majin Buu saga. But I think it was more about it was more unpredictable. That's what I'm gonna say. It was more, you're not gonna really know what's gonna happen in like Goku lost to Tien. Like that's how it was. It was more enjoyable, because you're not gonna know what's gonna happen the next episode. So but yeah, he's still very strong. But I think they're including his cyborg, aren't they? They're including a cyborg version here, which would be which is even stronger. It would probably, if his cyborg version, he'd probably be, for me, like 8th, 9th, I guess. May I add that? So 10 is Yajirobi. Like I say, Yajirobi should be higher on this list. Not saying that Yajirobi is like a great person, is a great like fighter, or so on and so on, but in Dragon Ball again, he's very strong. He's I think he's as strong as Goku upon when he arrives. He cuts Vegeta's tail. He's very lazy. He doesn't learn ki. He doesn't learn, he doesn't learn how to fly and stuff like that. So he's not so great at that. But he's still a great martial arts person. Obviously, even if he did train, I don't think he would be top 5 for me. He's still in the top 10. Would be in the top 10 for me. And he's higher than the list on this list than some of the people. I think Videl and Chi-Chi are on this list. I think he'd be higher on this list than Videl and Chi-Chi, in my opinion. And there's not really much to talk about Yajirobi, because Yajirobi just becomes the guy who brings sensu beans, in my opinion. Again, he's a very interesting character. Like, for him, I couldn't really see, like, when you have Tien, you could see that he could still be part of the Dragon Ball franchise. Yajirobi, he's more of a background character at this point. He's not going to be very strong, not going to reach very strong levels. There are people that can reach higher levels. He's not going to reach any, tremendous levels, in my opinion. Though, he's still somewhat different character, different personality, which is very interesting to see, in Dragon Ball, which I think it lacks in Super and GT. It lacked GT was all about Goku, and Goku turning into a kid once again, and then the whole of that. And Super for me is still about Goku. Gohan was very like the Great Saiyaman is not a great look for Gohan in the GT, even though GT is not canon. So 9th is Yamcha. Yamcha is not 9th. And I said this, I'm going to say this and I'm going to say this again. Yamcha is not 9th. Yamcha is top 5. He is top 5. Like, Yamcha is trained by Kami, he's trained by King Kai. You could say he gave up training earlier than the others. You could say that, you look what happened with Dr. Gero, everyone knows that. What happened with the Cybermen and all that. And that he became pretty much just a joke he became a joke in the franchise. But I still think he is a top fighter. And it says the Ginyu Force. I don't know if I mentioned it. The Ginyu Force, that is not really canon, I don't think. I don't think the Ginyu and the whole Ginyu Force appeared on the King Kai planet. I don't think it was canon. So I don't think that counts. But still, I remember the Cell Junior fight. What he did was he was definitely strong. Like, he showed that he was strong. And again, he wasn't probably, when he said Desert Band, he wasn't as strong. When he was a Desert Band, he probably wasn't as strong as Goku, but he was still pretty strong. Like, in Dragon Ball, like, everyone was pretty much the same level. Around the same level, but Dragon Ball Z, yeah, I did like the Dragon Ball Z when the Saiyans arrived, with Nappa, and obviously Nappa and Vegeta arrived. It was pretty fun, and seeing what happened to him was actually pretty fun, because something different, right? So I'm not gonna slander Dragon Ball Z. I'm a big Dragon Ball fan, the original fan. I'm not gonna slander Dragon Ball Z because I still think that was unique. But then he just became the laughingstock of the franchise, pretty much. He pretty much just became Tristan Taylor of Yu-Gi-Oh, pretty much. And Karibo makes fun of that too. Little Karibo does that. He does those videos, and like Tristan's like this that he's like lacks everything, lacks intelligence, lacks everything. But he's funny in that kind of way, it's funny, It says, like, I don't know if I read this. By default, this means that he's infinitely stronger than the average Earthling. Of course he's stronger than the average Earthling. He's probably at the end of Z, he's probably in 100,000s, maybe even more. Like, he's still a great martial artist. Like, bro, he's still a great martial artist. Let's just say that. He's stronger than the average, right? Like, he technically could blow up the planet if he wanted to. He could blow up the planet. Like, that's how strong he is. That's just this whole, yeah. I don't know. Chi Chi, like I talked about, Chi Chi should not be high on this list. I think Chi Chi is around the same level as like Ox King and stuff like that. We don't really see Ox King fighting. I don't know. Is Ox King the same level? I don't know. There's a lot of fighters, like King Choppa's in there, like Nam is in there. He fought against Goku, and there's a lot of like martial artists in like the original series, like Nam, um, Nam, Master Shen. There's a lot of Bora. Who else is there? Bora was there. Grandpa Gohan is another martial. There's a lot of like martial artists in the original one. It was Popovich and Yamu in it, like before their Majin magic. Were they in it? I don't remember if they were in it around like the Z part, or were they around when they fought? Was the fight against like Master Satan? So was it in the original one? Was it in DB, or was it was in DBZ? I don't know about that one. I know when they fought Videl, when the Magic happened, when they were on Magic, that was Z. That was like Majin Buu Saga. But when they weren't on Magic's spell, was it Z or was it original? I don't know. Yeah, King Choppa. Yeah, King Choppa. He's a tournament winner, isn't he? So yeah, there's a lot of martial artists, and Chi Chi again. She's like another martial artist. So I don't really know. I feel like all of them are around the same level, and it's hard to rank them because their power levels are probably like max 300 or 400, right? They don't reach 500, I don't think. So they're all like pretty in the same level, and they're all not that strong compared to now looking at Super. They're not pretty strong, but they're around the same level, and that's probably something that I really need to give props to. And I think Sky Dragon wasn't Sky Dragon also a martial artist? Mr. Satan is also a martial artist. Like, isn't he as well? So there's like a lot. There's a lot. And a lot of them you could put in. Like I said, Crane Hermit or Master Shin should be on this list again. If Chi Chi's on this list, in my opinion, again, that's just my opinion, right? My opinion. So right, we're gonna go down on this list. I'm not gonna. Again, she doesn't have like ki. She can't fly pretty well. Yeah. Videl, again, I talked about Videl. I had like a big rant about Videl, and I'm not gonna repeat myself. Just Videl is just not strong. Like, yeah, like the key energy and stuff like that she got learned about from Gohan, but like, if she actually faced someone like Grandpa Gohan, she probably would lose. Even Master Shen, she probably would lose. Like, a lot of the martial artists, she would lose because she's not really a martial artist. I mean, you could say, oh, she's like the daughter of Mr. Satan, but Mr. Satan himself is not really a top 15, maybe 15th, but he's definitely not top 10 fighter. Like, I don't know. I'd already talked about her. It's like, I don't really have much to add. So it's like, she is decent, but like, she isn't great. She's probably like, what's her power level? Is it like 280 or something like that? Like the end of Z? Is it like that? I know it's not like very strong. She's not strong. She's like in her 200s, 300s. Grandpa Gohan. Yeah, Grandpa Gohan is stronger. But like, not even Grandpa Gohan, but like even like I said, even like we had Mercenary Tile, he would be stronger in his like non cyborg, in his non cyborg, when he was not a cyborg, he would be stronger. So I don't know. Grandpa Gohan, yeah, he's a great martial artist. Would I have him as like sixth? He's definitely not ahead of, like I said, he's definitely not ahead of Yamcha. Like Yamcha would just obliterate. So would Yajirobi. Yajirobi would just beat him as well. Like the Grandpa Gohan, like the thing about Grandpa Gohan, he trained under Roshi. He gave Kid Goku a challenge during the Fortune Teller Baba saga, I think it was, which was, says it's his debut saga, but debut arc. It's very hard to rank a lot of these. I'm kind of here. It's hard to rank all of these guys. Basis on, you have to look at I look at a lot about their fighting expertise and their attacks and what they do, because it'd be a close fights, so it's very hard. Like the top 5 for me are, which I'm gonna say later on in this video, are very clear. Like they go past everyone on this list. They're just stronger than everyone on this list. 5, Krillin. Yeah, Krillin is not 5. Krillin is definitely Krillin is definitely stronger. He got that boost, unlocked potential from Guru. He trained with Kami. He fought plenty of strong opponents, even though he was, again, you could say, a very much a person that is very laughing stock of the franchise, and even on the BZA, he's very much, Krillin, Krillin counts are a big thing. He still did pretty well against the Cybermen. He did decently against, again, I think he fought against Cell Juniors, I think. Again, he didn't really fight after that much, really, and after that Majin Buu saga, he settled with 18. So he didn't really fight that much. And so it's, so it's very hard to fully rank him because of that. But he has some of techniques that he doesn't use, like Destructo Wave. No, Destructo Disc, not Destructo Wave. Destructo Wave is Piccolo's Destructo Disc. And he has another form that he doesn't use a lot, but I can't remember which form it is. I think I said in the previous video. But Raw Power is Krillin's, it's Krillin's thing. It's Krillin's thing. Like, when the Dracula has the Joker card, Raw Power is Krillin. Raw Power is Krillin's thing. But still, Krillin is not a pushover. Though Toriyama said he is the strongest. I have my own strongest, and I'm gonna sell it at the end of the video. And when I talked about Android 18, because they are kind of could be considered human, I guess. I mean, you could say they're human as human can be, but for me, we can't really count them, since they're so overpowered because of their cyborg, nature. Like, comparing it to 16. 16 is completely a cyborg. Yeah, he's a cyborg, or android, whichever you want to categorize. While, the humans, actual humans like Krillin, Tien, they can barely do damage to them. And they train for a lot of flipping time. And they can't even hit them, right? Or can hit them, but don't barely even touch them. So, and even strong as Piccolo. Piccolo is strong, way stronger than Tien and Krillin. and he can't really do any damage. And Vegeta got his arm broken, so they're like, people will put them on the list. I wouldn't, because yes, they're humans, but they're not like, they're like cyborgs mixed, like the cyborg nature makes them way more stronger than they are. Yeah. I don't know if I talked about that part, but yeah, 4, Master Roshi. Why is there Krillin in Master? Okay. Never realized that. Yeah, no. Nah, I don't think Master Roshi is that. He's definitely not, for me, a 4th strongest fighter. I could see, like, I could see why he is ranked pretty decently, and especially Super being better than Tien. For some reason, I don't know why Tien is so pushed back. But obviously he gathered a lot of fighting techniques over his years. And I mean, he fought the Frieza soldiers pretty well, didn't he? Didn't he also fight? I know it's not canon. He fought the Bio Warriors, what they were. Yeah, so he's pretty good. And also, oh yeah, he can also turn into like. He can also like charge into like having muscles and all. I think he can also, yeah, he can bulk up as well. Forgot about that too. Yeah, he can. But again, I don't think he's as strong as. Yeah, I probably thinking about that. I may actually rank him quite high because of him actually getting max power and bulking up, having his, reaching his, full power. It could be, he could be quite. Yeah, maybe he could be strong. I may think of him ranking him quite decently. Tien is 3. Tien for me is probably, and I'm gonna say he's probably the best human, not counting Oob. If you want to count Oob, whatever, whichever your opinion is. If we're not counting Oob, then obviously, because Oob is like human form of Majin Buu, which Goku wants to kind of test. Wasn't Oob still like at the end of Z? Wasn't Oob still in the end of Z? Or am I tripping? Probably I'm tripping, I think. Yeah, but Oob would be the first one if we're counting the whole lot. But Tien, he's been trained by King Kai, Kami, and all. So obviously I love Tien a lot. He held against, again, powerful enemies like Cell. He did a bit of the arc in the Buu arc, but that was like just a cameo technically, with Trunks. But he's trained still this day, and I still don't really get how he's not strong, like properly strong, like unleashes his ultimate potential. That's what I don't really get. Like, he's also a martial artist, and I feel like he's been pushed back, which is sad. Yeah, Android 17. I already talked about Android 17, 18 because I already knew they're gonna come up because I technically did this list. I already said why I don't really consider them on this list. Yeah, like it says, they can hit as hard as Super Saiyan, but again, I don't really fully count them as humans. And but people say, how do you count Tien? I mean, the whole thing about the three-eyed clan is very, it's very. There's not really much, let's say, context behind it, backstory behind it of how it is. About like the cyborgs, there's a lot of thing about it, and there's a lot of things there. Even in the original one, there's a lot of General Blue, General White, and there's a lot of Red Ribbon Army, and a lot about like the whole cyborg stuff. Obviously, they're not really cyborgs, but there's a lot of there's a lot of backstory behind it, a lot of synopsis behind it. There's not really much anything about Tien's Three-Eye Clan and where he came from and what his, whole mysteries, where meaning and mystery behind the whole his origin is. So yeah, I don't know. Oob is 1. Yeah, I already talked about Oob. Yeah, Oob Uber's very. Uber says he is in Z. No, I was like, was he in Z? Uh, yeah, he's the good. Isn't he like the good part of like Majin Buu? Even though Majin Buu like in GT turns into like turns into pretty much just the main character. Which is still pretty fun. He just turns like I remember the Master Satan stuff they do. Like there's like a lot of stuff in GT is like I don't really get it. Like Goten is just nowhere to be seen. Goten is as irrelevant as ever he could be. Like at times I don't even know if his existence is even real. Yeah. What else? Who else? Who else is irrelevant? Vegeta's irrelevant. Doesn't Vegeta grow like a mustache in that? I think. Yeah. There's a lot. There's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff in GT that's so funny. It doesn't really a lot of stuff that doesn't really make any sense, and a lot of like, I'm like a guy like who likes a lot of different characters having their special moments. Yeah, there's not really a lot of special moments. There's not really a lot of special moments in GT instead of Goku. And some moments with like Trunks and Pan, but yeah. Sorry, I just had a message. Yeah, but I had to kind of look at the message I had. There's nothing important. I thought it was something urgent. But yeah, the whole bull par thingy. Bull par. Oh, it's just so funny. Oh my god. Yeah. GT is very interesting. GT's interesting in like a funny way. That's all I'm gonna say. Like in a funny way. They should just bring the guy who voices Nappa in Team 4 Star and should bring Nappa back in. I know that's not really, it just wouldn't make sense. And Nappa at this point would just be like irrelevant as pretty much as Krillin at this point, but still be funny. Okay, but no, I think I'm gonna give my list. They didn't have Shiaotsu, which is just I don't really get it. Chaozu is still very strong. Like he has like powerful telepathic and kinetic abilities. That can be used against humans. And he still kind of trains with Tien. I mean, he's obviously not Tien's level, but he still trains with Tien. Obviously, he lacks a lot of stuff, but he's still strong in his own way, which they didn't have. I think they also didn't have a guy from the Underworld tournament, which I talked about is, what's his face? Is it Oli Boo? He's like Underworld tournament kind of guy. Held by King Kai. Again, I don't know if this is like, this. I think that could be non-canon. So yeah. But like. Also, I didn't talk about Roshi. Roshi's like skills is like Roshi with like pseudo UI is just he can if he can learn like hex or poison magic attacks, then his UI combo would with his ki would be fatal for the foe. His technique would be just fatal for the foe because it would just the attack would just mix with his combo and his ki and then his technique, and yeah, it'd just be over. I never talked about that. Obviously, the sum of power. Obviously, Tien with his Kiko Ho. Or isn't it like Tri-Beam in the games? I played Budokai Tenkaichi. Isn't it like Tri-Beam? Okay, I don't know why I'm saying about Tri-Beams. Okay, I'm gonna give my list, right? This is my list. So, first, well, we're gonna count Oob because let's count Oob. So, Oob would be first for me. 2 would be Tien. 3 would be Krillin, I think. I think Krillin and Tien could be, you could say one is better than the other. And you could say that Krillin is better. You could say that Tien is better. It really depends on what you view. I say Dragon Ball, Tien is better. I say Saiyan Saga, I think Tien still edges Frieza Saga. I think unlock potential from Krillin. He edges Tien. I say Cell Saga. I say Tien, basis just on Cell. I say the Majin Buu Saga. I say probably equally the same. GT is non-canon, so I don't even know how to rank them because Krillin just retires and Tien is still training, so I guess Tien by default, and Super is probably Krillin. It's definitely Krillin. So probably, and even there's like a lot more different sagas. They're probably really equal. So 2 and 3 is like you could switch them around. Like I don't really care really. I just put Tien just bases on of how much moments he had. Right, the moments he had are more, I guess, not necessarily memorable because Krillin is technically more memorable because he's more of a Goku's friend, and yes, he kind of did die against Frieza, and that was one of the most memorable things. Then like Tien's, but like I don't know. I think Tien held against like really strong fighters, which Krillin didn't fully hold against the strong fighters as him. I think it's just better because of the sum of power that Tien has with his Kiko Ho, really. But yeah, I think Krillin has is it the multiform technique that Krillin has that I was like having in my mind? There's like a technique that he has that he never uses. Yeah, it was always joked around. Like in DBZA, they joke around about that technique. I think around the Android Saga, they joke around. I forgot the technique. 4. Yeah, 4. 4 we have is Yamcha. Yamcha's 4. In my opinion, Yamcha's 4. And 5, I probably would have Master Roshi. I gave my opinions on why 5 I would Master Roshi, even though he's old. Like I think about the max power he could have. Like he's honestly just be a beast. 6 will probably be. I'll include Oli Boo. I'll just include him because it's Underworld tournament, but I include him. 7, I have Chaozu. Yeah, Chaozu would be 7. 8 for me would be Yajirobi. 9th would be Tao Pai Pai, or Mercenary Tile. And no, is that 9? Yeah, I think was that 9? Oh man, I'm so bad. Was that a 9 or 8? Whatever. Okay, whatever. 10 would probably be either Master Shen, Grandpa Gohan, Master Shen, Grandpa Gohan. Who else? Chi-Chi, Vidal you could put in. I mean, Spopovich and Yamu as well. Spopovich and Yamu, the hard thing about them is, which I didn't really talk much about them, is I don't really count them because of the Majin magic. Because if you count them with the Majin magic, they probably would be around 9th, I think. Yeah, 9th. But because they're stronger than Vidal, and Vidal would probably be close to the top 10. She'd definitely be in the top 15. Like, I would put her ahead of Master Saiyan, in my opinion. But that's just me. Yeah. But that's around my list. My list could, a lot of the whole, martial artists are very kind of separated basis just on who is who's more skilled, and that's really it. The skill and determination, a lot of different other things come into play. But yeah, because then it's not really about ki and ki blast, not about power levels really. It's just about who would perform better on the day. So okay, but and who would have like more supply of energy? I think that's a good what's it like. Who would have more supply of energy, and who'd be who would have like more power and supply of energy? Yeah, but yeah, that's kind of my list. I'm just wanted to redo this video because I hate redoing videos, but just like I really think that video was ass, and I think this is a bit better. So yeah, see you guys in the next video. Peace.